People hate each other. I must be a cold-hearted biatch. Cruel, cruel, cruel world. I think he's eliminated. The truth hurts. Struggling. Yes, 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 making me cry, making me cry. Can't sing on pitch. Did not deserve first place. Hello, I'm Evan and I'm back for episode 7 of Boys to Planet. And today's concept is very calm and I'm very reserved. And the episode starts off with a glimpse into the dorm life of the trainees. And we see Liu eating his breakfast off of Sangyan. What? That is some next level friendship. Liu was using him as a table, literally just as food on top of his body, just eaten right away. Sangyeon was just lying there like a normal day. What goes on in that dorm? I would love to see, but Mnet just has to gatekeep all the fun stuff. And then we see Sangwon reading with Chingwi next to him, just eating some chips ASMR. And I just gotta say, how many times do we have to see Sangwon reading? We know that he loves books. Give me another trainee that does something weird or some other hobby, please. Somebody new, not Sangwon. Then we have a cute little segment of Jiayang doing the C trainee's makeup. And of course, it's Lisa Hao. They show a before and after. And I just have to say, he looks the exact same except whiter. And we also see Yoon-so changing into his school uniform with Shin-long just there. And it just kills me that the minors still go to school while filming a survival show. That is just crazy to me, the amount of stress they must be in. And the people probably like bombarding them at school after seeing them on a public television show must be insane. I honestly don't know what's worse, them not going to school and completely focusing on the survival show while giving up their education, or them doing it at the same time but also they're still giving up their education because they're probably not focusing that much on school and they probably are absent like 99% of the time because they have to do trainee life and idol life. So yeah, both are very terrible. Kinda wish they weren't debuting minors, but it'll happen anyways. Now we get into the real episode and we start off with the Run to You team, which is what I am so excited for because that is my main vocal team. The focus was on Sen, which you know what that means. Sen is going to be eliminated in the next episode. That's just how it goes with the Mnet tradition. They always give the trainees who are low ranking a little bit of screen time right before they're about to get eliminated in the next episode. Because, of course, that's how Mnet works. I love that the members were treating Sen so nice and, trying to give him confidence. Like Ujin, of course, he was there for him all the time. It honestly made me so sad when Sen was like, "Ugh, the group is ruined because I'm here." Like, no, you're talented, Sen. You just need some confidence and you just need to believe in yourself. You are good. And y'all notice how Hongyu was just like cut out like a ghost? Is this a 3-person team or a 4-person team? Like, there's not that many people in this team where you can cut out Hongyu like this. Like, come on now. So their performance, I just have to say, Hongyu killed it. I am talking about him all the time, but I love him so much. I really wish he will debut. His high note was amazing, and I will replay that part like 100 times. This was my face watching the entire performance. It was so good. All of the members did amazing. Yoonmin, of course, killed it. I think he's gonna be eliminated too. The one thing I love about these live audience recordings is that no phones are allowed. Of course, there are some people who sneak video recordings, but all of them were just singing along and dancing and jumping and dancing to the song. And it was so nice to see because nowadays at concerts, all you see are people like this. That's all you see at a concert, nothing else but that. But here you can actually see them enjoying the performance because that's all they have to do. The live band also killed it. That was a perfect touch to this. But yeah, Yoonmin is rank 48 in the first eliminations, so I really think he's a goner for the next one. The scores were revealed for the team, and Ujin got last place. I was spoiled that he got last, but I did not know that he only got 860 points, which means out of 200 people in the audience, only 86 people voted for him. That's actually crazy. He did the best, if not the second best, next to Hongyu. Like, wow. Next is the Smoke team, and the drama with Yi Chen was so much. Even Justice mentioned, oh, they fought a lot. So clearly, at least a little something was going on, and it's not just Mnet's evil editing. I love that Yechan, stuck with his guns and said, we're gonna do a diss concept, and it actually turned out pretty good for them both. I just thought it was so rude when Ichen just kept interrupting Yechan when he was speaking, even though the leader, he can't even say his opinion without Ichen just saying something back like, my opinion's better. And my goodness, when Ichen pulled out the, you think I'm a boomer moment, I just couldn't deal with him anymore. The translation I saw was incorrect, but he said, am I a boomer? Like, yes, you are. You are a boomer. Ichen is a full grown adult at the age of like 27, yelling at a 17-year-old child. Like, please, Ichen, what is going on? He was really tripping, thinking that he's older, he can control everything. Seriously, if I was Yechan, I would have cried tears of frustration and anger. But Yechan is better than me with patience because, I bet he was just focusing on trying to do his best on the performance and make it through this damn mission. Now onto the performance. Yechan did amazing, and of course, Ichen messed up his rap twice. So there's that. Even though he said he was gonna do better than Yechan. Now the lyrics that Yechan wrote, not just me, but many people got a lot to say about you. That killed me. That told me there is some real beef going on between the two of them. And maybe not just the two of them. Maybe a more than two people hate each. Okay, maybe not hate. Just, like dislike. Thank you to the audience for voting for Yechan. And he beat Ichen in the votes. So that is all. I did read some tweets of people saying that it was all evil editing and that Ichen and Yechan were acting because, of course, they would do that the entire mission. Why would they waste time making up a fake drama during their practice? No, I think it was at least 70% real, which is way too much for Yechan to be yelled at by an almost 30-year-old man. And yes, I know that they are in a very stressful situation, but why does Yechan have to yell at him? Like, I just really don't understand that part. Next is the bad team. And I love this little moment of Konu making a bad face by biting his lip, and then Shinlong was next to him and gave him a look, and then he looked down and he tried to hold his laughter. They are so cute together. So Dongyu says, this could be my last performance. And then the audience was like, no! Well, spoiler alert, skip ahead like 10 seconds. But Dongyu, he is part of the last 3 nominees for last place. So he might not survive. Now we move on to their practice time. And it was so devastating for me when Junso said, I think it should be one person who does everything. And then Junso just made Dongyu do it. Like, wow. He said it should be one person for the flow and consistency of the choreography. And you know what? That part I agree with. But the way he just gave it to Dongyu and said, you do it, that was just so wrong. First of all, you're the killing part and the leader, and you're just like giving everything for Dongyu to do. Please. That is just so mean. And yes, Dongyu has experience choreographing and the other two don't, but this is just so messed up. And yes, Masato and Junso did make up their own little choreo parts, but they never finished it completely. And Dongyu had to clean it up and put it all together. And even during their interim check, the mentors were like, oh, is Dongyu the killing part? Because his choreo part was so good. It honestly felt like Junso was just ordering him like you would order something on Amazon, like, hey, I'm gonna pay for this, except he's not getting paid. He's just like paying a choreographer is what it felt like. Once again, Dongyu is an angel because when Junso told Masato, Dongyu's gonna take your all-star place if you keep dancing like that. And then cue Dongyu helping Masato with the choreo and doing one-on-one lessons with him. Seriously, an angel. While Junso is MIA, like where was he? He could have been helping too. Now I just have to say, I must be a cold-hearted biatch because when Masato got all those feedback from the trainees after their performance saying that he was last place and that he needs to do better, and Masato was like starting to feel sad, I was like, okay. Like he started crying after Junso told him off, kind of. And I just didn't feel bad for him at all because his rank is 8. And Masato can't really sing. Never heard him rap. And he's like good at dancing, I guess. But he's so slow at learning the choreo. Mnet has given him the slow learner edit every single episode. During the signal song, during the first rounds, now this round. Every single time, it's always the other trainees helping Masato. I'm kind of like done. His visual is really hard carrying him into the top 8. While Dongyu, who is basically perfect, is out here struggling to survive. After watching the bad performance on stage, I just felt a little angry for Dongyu because it was so good and he made Junso stand out so much with the jumping and the jacket and the killing part that Junso did. Oh my god. The choreo he made let the other two shine so much. Even though Dongyu did have his own moments, I just was so sad for him. Cruel, cruel, cruel world. When the scores came out, I was like, oh, thank the universe, there is some kindness left. There is a little bit of justice because Dongyu beat Masato. You deserve those bonus points after everything you did for the team. Now, I saw people say that, of course, this was another evil edit of Junso, but I don't really believe it because even in his interviews, Dongyu said, I wanted to speak up and say that's not right when he was told to do all the choreo by himself. But he didn't speak up because he couldn't. And he's the youngest, and there's the age hierarchy in Korea and everything. And Dongyu, you deserved better, and you did amazing. Unless Junso or Ichen come out themselves and say directly that it was an evil edit, then I won't believe that it was an evil edit. Because there have been contestants who come out and say it was an evil edit. Even Sowon, who was filmed by a fan saying that he was evil edited, literally this season. He said something like, oh, they're gonna be so messed up or whatever during the first round performances. And Mnet cut that single clip of him saying, oh, they're gonna be so messed up and applied it to the Whiplash team or whatever. And no, he didn't mean that. And that, of course, could be easily evil edited because it's just one phrase. But they had a whole story. So I'm just saying, I don't believe it. Next, we have the tambourine team. And of course, Yumeki is the leader and choreographer for the entire dance of the team. And I'm not surprised that Ichen said, we have a little info, that his choreos are very expensive. Well, I hope that Junso paid Dongyu at least half of what Yumeki is getting paid for his choreos. Because that man really went through so much. Okay, now let's focus on the tambourine team. After the feedback that Kai Wen's killing part did not stand out, Yumeki just rethought everything. It kind of felt like Yumeki was there doing his real job as a choreographer instead of trying to be an idol. This was when we saw Suren start to get very angry and sad that he felt like he was a backup dancer. And then fast forward, Suren says, you all have fans and I don't, while crying. And I feel so bad for him. Because, of course, he's like one of the lowest ranks in the entire tambourine team. I think he's eliminated. But honestly, his situation happens like every season where the low ranking trainees or someone feels like a backup dancer in the group. But then Yumeki was so nice. He spent nights just remaking everything to try and make everybody stand out. Heart of gold. Yumeki was the leader, did not take the killing part, even though we all know that he's like one of the best dancers on the entire show. Just saying, Junso. Okay, I gotta move on to the tambourine performance. To be honest, I don't know what happened, but it did not feel like Kaiwen's killing part stood out that much. All I remember is Suren. Also, Jahao is so handsome. God damn, that 1 second of him doing that hip move, that was his moment. And Hao and Suren just stood out so much. Especially with Suren doing those little meme moments like the hand clapping with Hanwen or his little like crown moment. It was good. I'm happy that he got more screen time because it's probably his last performance. And I have to say that it's my first time hearing this tambourine song by Eve. I just have to say I don't like it. It's a terrible song. I would never listen to this song again. The lyrics repeat way too much and it just does not sound good. Why did Mnet choose this song? On to the score reveal, and wow, the Koreans really don't like Yumeki because he got 720 points. Only 72 people voted for him, the lowest score out of the entire team, even though he literally made the entire choreo show by himself. That's some criminal activity right there. And Kaiwen was so adorable, crying for Yumeki because he was sad that he got the lowest score. Next is the Rose Blossom team, and the team that I was slightly worried about because of the vocals. But of course, I was looking forward to Hanum, and I was thinking every time I saw this team and I saw Park Jun-il, I was like, who does he look like? And I found it. He looks like the child of a famous actor called Lee Joon-gi. They are so similar. It's like the face shape, the eyes, the face, the everything. But we finally have some Hanum screen time, and I love that. During the intern practice where they did terrible, one star said, Liu, you're gonna be a singer. And that's all he had to say. And that's all he had to say. In fact, one star continued and he said, what are you gonna do? It's gonna be even a bigger problem even after you debut. Oh, the truth hurts. I wish everyone voting for him would realize that it's a 5-year contract for this group. Please. But they won't. Anyways, continue voting for who you want. Now, I giggled when Junior did his little variation because he couldn't hit the notes properly because it's too high for him. He did his variation of the melody, and the master said, it's not good. And Hanum whispers to Liu, I didn't do it like that. It was so funny because Junior said that Hanum helped him make the variation melody. And it was just so funny. Now, why is it that every single team so far, we have seen one person struggling to carry the entire team on their back because they have to help everybody? Literally, Yechan, Dongyu, Yumeki, and now Hanum. Seriously crazy. Now, I cannot. When Junior wanted to give up his singing part, they showed Hanum at this terrible angle. It was so funny to me. He still looks beautiful, but what is that angle? It was crazy. And Hanum was slow blinking like. Fast forward to their vocal practice, and I love that Hyorin was so warm and caring to the trainees. She said, this song is to show your message of how you guys are feeling right now, and it's always the female masters that are the nicest. The male masters got something wrong with them. So the performance for Rose Blossom started, and this was me the entire time. Ooh! Yeah, I'm not going to rewatch that performance ever again. It just was so disappointing. It just was not a great cover. Like, even the live band didn't add much to it, and the concept was not very fleshed out. Like, the subway part was random. The scores were whatever. I'm just glad Hanum got a high score. Afterwards, we have the famous team, and this was a song that I was not looking forward to because it's basically like a talk singing song. At their interim evaluation, they were told to rewrite their lyrics to fit their story, and Tejo's original lyrics were about counting money and driving cars. And Tejo said, I don't even have cash. All I have is a subway card. And he doesn't even own a bike because he's a minor and he can't even drive a car either. Literally, why is this so true? Like, some K-pop songs always got idols singing about like flaunting their money and counting cash and driving like a Lamborghini, but they're like 15. Call YG Baby Monster. Anyways, please let us have age appropriate lyrics. Thank you. I was so shocked when Taejo gave up the killing part because he saw that Jaehyun was so sad about it, thinking that he was gonna lose it after he didn't do that well after the trainees evaluations. Taejo was rank 42 and Jaehyun 33. So to be honest, they're kind of like the same. They're both probably gonna be eliminated either way. But damn, Taejo, you are so nice. And I'm just saying, this is another big F you to all the people saying, this is a survival show. Everyone's out for themselves. Well, there are many trainees who are very nice and actually like to help other people because they have kindness in their heart. The production team is already cruel enough, and so are the rules of the survival show. The trainees don't have to be cruel to each other. Now, their performance was crazy, especially Tejo. It didn't even matter that he did not get the killing part because every time he's rapped, his part became the killing part. He was so good. His voice, his tone, his attitude, everything was perfect. Seriously, Korea loves ADP so much though, because they were singing along to the fan chant every time saying, we ain't even famous. Like, damn, didn't know they were that popular. Next is breathe. And during the vocal training, Beko took them aside and had a little chat with them. He said, Kangmin, you only practice based on looks and how you are perceived on stage. If the song is sad, you have to act sad on stage. And I was like, damn, Beko, that is correct feedback. I was like, I didn't even notice, but now I notice it's so true. During the practice, they showed Kangmin and he was like, oh, and it looked not very genuine. That was some good feedback. And then he said, you're on your 7th year. That's when it gets really hard. Realistically, you're going to have less opportunities. So you really got to pull it together and show that you are desperate for this, because afterwards you really have no chance for anything. You have to act like this is really the last opportunity that you have. And then Kangmin starts crying. After making someone cry, Beko just ran away and said bye. I'm just saying, Kangmin is 7th and Keon is 40th, and he was so much more desperate than Kangmin. So Keon has vocals beautiful. I'm just saying, in general, the top trainees, especially like the top 4, I think always get a little too comfortable when they see their ranking. If you know what I mean, like compared to the other trainees who are lower rank, they're a little more like, oh, laid back, because, you know, they know they're going to survive at least to the finale. Kihyun's voice really sounds like he was divorced at least once. Not 3 times, but like at least once. We fade to black, and the performance starts with Kyehyun playing the piano. And there's a little message on screen that says, if you had a hard time today, how about you stay here and rest a while? And I was like, yes, 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 making me cry, making me cry. I'm ready. Every season, I look forward to the ballad performances so much, because if you can make me cry, you stole my heart, and I will vote for you. 99% of the time, it's the vocal stages that I rewatch a million times, because I'm so amazed by how beautiful they are singing. I finished the performance and I just have to say, it did not make me cry. But it did make Sang-won cry, and it made me laugh when they showed him just like dabbing his tears. Yehyun's vocals were seriously very beautiful. All 3 of them did honestly very good, so I'm happy that Yehyun actually got the top score. But I still think he's eliminated because rank 40 is just way too low. Plus, Mnet showed this episode 1 day before voting closes, so he basically had no chance. Moving on to the Queen Ka team. How are we gonna go from sad to sexy rock sound? Listening to Inu and Shiwan's vocals during the interim check, I was like, damn, I wish you two were in the Rose Blossom team instead. What a shame. Of course, we saw Sangyeon can't sing on pitch, so there was that. And his voice is so distinct and unique that it does not blend in at all. It sounds so weird. Not weird, like it just stands out so much compared to the other trainees. As a team, his voice does not blend in. Your voice can be unique, but it just doesn't feel harmonious with the group, if you know what I'm saying. At least Sangyeon is aware that he has no skills to be on 3rd place, but he said he's working on it. Maybe you work a little faster because the finale's like almost here. I was laughing when I watched the performance because they kept the Kim Kardashian and Ariana line, and of course, Sangyeon had to sing that part. I seriously thought breaking the guitar was so stupid. Why did they even do that? It added nothing to the performance. I guess the stage was fun, a little bit. Definitely not my favorite out of everything so far. I also thought it was a little disappointing, but funny. I would not rewatch it. But I cannot believe that Leo got the lowest score out of the entire team. Seriously, the audience is so weird with these votings. I don't know how they're deciding who they're voting for, because Leo literally carried the performance. He was like the leader and the killing part, and he literally carried the vocals so hard. Of course, Inu and Shiwan did very good also, but goddamn, how did he get the lowest score? Lower than Sangyeon. So justice has left the room again. Finally, the last team is La 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 by Stray Kids, and we see that Gonu, of course, is the leader, and he let everyone choose a part that they want to choreograph, and I love that he involved everybody in the group because it's a dance position. And Kanu said that he would put everything together because, you know, he's the leader. So he will organize it all and add their pieces so it looks harmonious in the end. And I love that. What a great leader. We see that the miners get off at like 10 p.m. or something, according to Korean labor law, and the rest of the team continued practicing until a staff was asked, hey, so like what time is it right now? And the staff said, it's 2 a.m. Oh my god, the staff must be pissed off as hell because they are working super overtime. Knowing Korean work culture, I bet it's the exact same staff who has been there since like the morning of when they wake up and film the trainees. Like seriously, crazy long hours. After hearing this, Shinlong was like, oh, we can have breakfast now. I love that for him. And then they continued practicing until 3 a.m. And all of the members were like, yep, we just gotta practice. Like, damn, y'all are so serious. Some of y'all really seriously crazy passionate about your jobs or potential job. I also love that Konu tried to learn like a little Chinese phrase here and there to communicate with the members. We love a member that tries to be inclusive. Even in the behind the scenes that was recently uploaded, Gonu said a little Chinese to a Korean member, and the Korean member did not understand. Now, Chen Bowen, who was the minor in the group and who got off practice early, did amazing during the performance. So I just have to say, maybe y'all don't have to stay up till 3 a.m. to practice. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Maybe you could go to sleep and let your body rest so that you could actually feel more energized instead of getting like 1 hour of sleep. That might be better for your health. The performance for La 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 starts, and Shinlong's face card is face carding because he is so beautiful. Jesus Christ. He really looks like a wolf alpha male. Mnet putting in Hyorin's reaction is so funny because her eyes are like huge and her nails are so long. The performance was so good, and Shinlong is seriously the definition of killing apart because every time he was on screen, his aura was everything. All the members did so good, and I just feel a little bad for Lin Lin and Bowen because they got the lowest scores and they were not popular with the Koreans. Finally, we made it to the team score reveals, and we start off with the vocal team, and Rose Blossom got first place. Absolutely insane. Ain't no way in hell that they got first place with that performance, where Junior was literally offbeat, and their vocals were like, what? I'm sorry, but they did not deserve first place at all. I would have been like whatever if it was any other team but Rose Blossom. Of course, I wanted Run to You to be first place, but any other team except for Rose Blossom because that performance was not first place deserving. And then Famous won first place for the rap teams, and I was like, okay, as you can tell, I'm not a big fan of rap. Now, the dance teams. I just have to say, every time I see Konu, I love his big ass ears. They're so funny and cute to me. It reminds me of Dumbo the elephant. You could fly. And the La team won with 1,630 points, which is the highest out of everybody. They also won the M Countdown and the mini online fan signs. So, good for them. Did anyone notice how basically like all the other teams, except for the vocals, got very high scores? And I was like, so like what? Honestly, the vocals were a little lacking, the vocal performances, but also the song choices weren't that amazing either. And I don't know. The audience did not like those vocal performances. Now, the episode is finally over, and here is a mini spoiler if you did not know. But the three candidates for the last 24th place is Dongyu, Jaeyi, and Harryjun. I'm just saying it's sad that Bowen, Lin Lin, and Jae are probably eliminated, but at least they have a chance to be on an M Countdown and have a mini online fan meeting before they go. The elimination rumors are worse than last time because apparently only 5 C trainees survive. I really hope that's not true because that would be insane. This got me wishing that we still had C Planet and K Planet to debut 2 groups, but of course Mnet had to throw that idea away. My favorite performance was Run to You, and I will probably be rewatching that like 300 times. Goodbye, and may your pick survive.